Okay, welcome to my Bitcoin Lightning Network node setup video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Bitcoin Core wallet along with a Eclair Lightning Network app to work alongside it and use it to open up Lightning channels so that you could send instant, either free or practically free transactions to anyone anywhere in the world on Bitcoin's new Lightning Network. I will show you how to set up the Eclair wallet on Windows. You can set it up on Linux and Mac OS. That is an option. I do not know how to do that as I do not have a machine running those. I do know that you have to add Java JRE 1.8. I'll show that later on. And I will also show you the install, which is very easy, of a Bitcoin Lightning wallet app on Android. And I will demonstrate a few MAINNET live Bitcoin transactions so that you can see for yourself just how fast they are and how convenient it is to use and be a part of the network. Okay, first off, let me show you the programs you're going to be using. You're going to download Bitcoin Core. Bitcoin Core is the main and first Bitcoin wallet that was created when Bitcoin was thought up 9 years ago. This is used as what's called a node for downloading your copy of the blockchain, which is just a giant database of transactions, every transaction that has ever occurred on the blockchain. That database is huge. It's about 200 gigabytes. And the first time you install Bitcoin Core, you're going to have to download that entire database, which could take 1 or 2 days possibly. For the sake of this tutorial, I have already copied over my copy of the database onto this machine, and we're just gonna behave as if we've already waited the 2 days and started up a wallet. But I'll take you through the entire process. Secondly, on the list, you're gonna need the Eclair wallet, which is located at this website. As you can see here, there's an exe for Windows and also a jar file for both Linux and Mac distributions if you want to install there. The port that Lightning Network apps run on are 9735. You'll find that this is similar for both Eclair and the Zap wallet for many of you who choose to go with the Zap wallet, and you might have to open ports in either your Windows firewall on your computer or perhaps open some DHCP ports on your router, as well as create a static IP address for your computer on your router. Now, if you're going to be needing to do that, I will show you 2 apps that I use. Simple Port Forwarding, they're free. I did get a license for Simple Port Forwarding. It was only like 13 bucks and totally worth it. For port forward network utilities, I really like their port scanner. And this website, yougetsignal.com, you can find out your IP address as well as check some ports to see if they're open on this computer. Okay, so going back, first thing we do is download Bitcoin Core, which I've already done, and we would download Eclair, which I have also already done, and I've already installed, as you can see, Simple Port Forwarding and Port Forward Network Utilities. Okay, what we would do is we would go into our downloads after downloading Bitcoin. Yes. Next, 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 using all of the standard settings for a standard install. We allow it to unpack. That completes fairly quickly. And then we're going to run Bitcoin Core. Oh, well, we would normally run Bitcoin Core at this point. And on the next screen, it would ask you, where would you want to save a copy of your blockchain? Of course, you have to have a hard drive that's big enough. And I suggest if you're going to run a full node, you have a hard drive that's at least 500 gigabytes. Luckily, most computers have enough space. You do want to check your computer to make sure you have enough space for the blockchain, because as of August of 2018, it's about 150 to 200 gigabytes, somewhere in that area. So just keep that in mind, and that's going to grow over time. Now, you would normally press finish and run Bitcoin Core, but I'm not going to do it here because I have a special link here to run it and use my existing copy of the blockchain so I don't have to wait the entire time. All right. So I'm just gonna double click to run Bitcoin. Now, if you don't have this link on your desktop, which you probably won't, you can just type here, start typing Bitcoin here in Cortana, and then it should show you the Bitcoin app and you can start it from there. Or you can add the link to your desktop, you know, for those of you who can, you know, use the basics in with computers. Okay, so now it's going to, what would normally you would see is the screen where it's taking 2 days to download the blockchain. So leave the computer on, step away for a day or two, come back to this video, you're good to go. If you're coming back to this video, your Bitcoin core node should be loading up. As you can see, mine is quickly downloading all of the blocks that already exist. And while it's doing that, as you can see, I've already installed an Eclair installation. I can go back to downloads for you guys and just show you, but it's really easy. If you go to your downloads, you double click on Eclair, there's going to be a screen that says, do you want to install an Eclair? Press next and it installs. Then you'll see a screen that says could not connect to Bitcoin node because we're still updating the node and downloading it, and you can just close it out for now. And they'll leave a link up on your screen for the Eclair node and everything. Okay, while this is updating, I guess I can take some time now to explain a couple of key things about the Lightning Network. First off, you need to understand the difference between a BEC32 address and a normal Bitcoin address. The Bitcoin Lightning wallet that we're going to use on Android is one of the first Bitcoin wallets on Android to institute what's called SegWit or Bit32. For those of you who don't know, SegWit is a new protocol that allows for faster transactions and cheaper transactions on the Bitcoin network every time you use this particular type of address. And a Bitcoin address is just like an email address where you point messages to send messages to, but in this case we're sending value. And it's this long, complicated address, but that's what we say when we say your wallet address. And SegWit addresses normally lead to much cheaper transactions than traditional addresses. Fortunately, sorry, I'm a little tongue twisted. Fortunately, the Bitcoin Core wallet can produce both, and I can't, let's see. Well, I don't want to hide this because I want to be able to see this. But fortunately, the Bitcoin Core wallet can produce both normal Bitcoin wallet addresses and SegWit or BEC32 addresses. It's the same thing. And the wallet that you use on Android is a BEC32 address. And the way I normally tell people to initially buy Bitcoin using a debit card, the best way to use it, and this would be step one of the entire process for those of you who have never, ever used Bitcoin before. I'm going to screen share my wallet, my cell phone, and I just wanted to show you the Square Cash app. You can go to the Android app and download the Square Cash app. You go in here and they're going to ask you for your debit card number. This is the easiest way to buy Bitcoin. And you're going to see cash. You're probably just going to see cash. And you're going to have to upgrade your account for BTC. Now, I've heard a lot of people on YouTube say, oh, but you can't get your money out of Square Cash. Yes, you can. The thing about Square Cash is when you first sign up for a cash account, you ask to be able to use Bitcoin. You're only going to be able to buy Bitcoin to your Square Cash account. But in order to enable it, for withdrawing that Bitcoin from your Square Cash account into a normal Bitcoin wallet like what we're installing here, and you're going to need money in to open up Lightning channels, you're going to have to go to this little guy here. All right, we're going to go back because I displayed some personal information that I didn't want to display, and I have to remove it from the video. And I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Here is the Square Cash app that I've been suggesting that people use to buy their Bitcoin initially before they send it off to their wallet so they can start messing around with Lightning. This is the main screen. When you first sign up, they're going to ask you for your debit card number. You're only going to be able to load money to the Cash app, and you can send it to other people instantly or whatever you want to do with it. But the main thing we're going to be using the Square Cash app for is purchasing Bitcoin. Going to have to upgrade the account for purchasing Bitcoin. I think there was an option for do you want to add Bitcoin, but if you go to this little guy here, a lot of these options are going to be here on this second screen. And you see where it says Bitcoin here. If I had some money here, I would have the option. It would say withdraw in blue right here. So for those people who don't think that you can withdraw your Bitcoin from the Square Cash app off to your normal wallets, you can. You just can't send the money back from your normal wallets to Square to cash back in for dollars. That's something that Square has not initiated yet. And many of you in certain states may not be able to withdraw your Bitcoin out of your wallet just yet. Contact Square Cash first, because you may have to use another source like BISC, which I highly recommend, which is a decentralized Bitcoin exchange, an app you can actually download onto your desktop, and you can buy your Bitcoin directly from other sellers using apps like Zelle or Square Cash to make the exchange. Some of you may not be able to withdraw from Square Cash, as I was saying, so definitely contact Square, before you send them any money, expecting to be able to take your Bitcoin out and send it to your wallet. Now, the point I was making about SegWit addresses is that the Square Cash app only sends to normal Bitcoin addresses. So you may have to send to your main Bitcoin node that we're installing first, and then you may have to send that money to your wallet app in order to fund the Bitcoin side of the wallet app. And you'll see that. I'll show you that when we get to that part. I just want to demonstrate that while we're updating, while the Bitcoin node is still going through its paces. Okay. Yep, running into a little bit of a problem. So I'm just gonna pause the video here so I can try to get my blockchain node updated properly, because it's not doing it properly. So I will come back to you guys in momentarily. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, now I think I have it directed properly. We're going to start up Bitcoin Core. And I'm just hoping that it points to the correct collection of blocks. Come on, loading block index. You can do this. And I hate to make you guys wait, but I know you want to see the entire process, every button press, so that when you go through it, you can see the pain of coming up against something that you weren't expecting. Now, if it's taken this long to load the block index, that means that it does have the entire blockchain here. So I finished explaining to you about this being your main Bitcoin Core wallet. I can't show you Eclair just yet. Well, actually, I can show you Eclair. I can show you my actual running node on my machine. Okay. Well, I don't want to show you my Bitcoin Core node because that's privacy oriented. But this is what, of course, my Bitcoin Core on my local machine looks like. And this is what the Eclair app looks like when you have a Bitcoin Core node running properly. As you can see here, there are a bunch of different long address funding, tax transaction ID, remote node ID, I just thought I'd take a moment now to help you guys understand exactly how Lightning Network works. Okay, the first thing to understand is the difference between a full node and a partial node. A full node is when you have, for example, over here to the right, Bitcoin Core Wallet running. It has the full blockchain downloaded and it's open and up to date and proper. And you're going to see that in a moment. And it's directly connected to an app on your desktop, which right now is only like the Eclair app or maybe the Zap app. Now, this is a full node setup. Now, a partial node is what I'm going to show you in a moment once we have the desktop running on my Android or Apple phone that cannot run a full Bitcoin Core Wallet node. So in a lot of cases, like some Bitcoin Lightning apps, like the Eclair Lightning Wallet app, I was going to show you guys that one for Android, but you can only send money from that wallet out on Lightning channels. You can't receive money in, which kind of defeats the purpose for me right now. They're going to add that capability, but they don't want to do it right now because they're figuring out exactly how to do that to ensure the safety of people's monies, since you don't have a node backing it up. Every company is approaching it in a different fashion, and Eclair is taking the safe approach and not having people do that right away. But a full node, you can open channels outwardly. You can have other people connect nodes to you. Partial nodes can connect to you, and as a full node, you can also connect out to other nodes. But partial nodes, you can't connect to partial nodes. Okay? A cell phone node is a partial node. So I can't take this full node here and say try to open a channel, and I'll explain what a channel is in a moment, to say my cell phone. But say I can open up a channel like here from my cell phone to my node here on my home computer so that I can send money. And right here is my Eclair cell phone app connected. I can send the capacity amount of that channel up to that capacity from my cell phone to my node here at home. I can't send my money from my node here at home to that Eclair app because remember I said it can't receive. But the other app that I use, I have another channel open from that app, which is, I believe, this one. And I can send money from that app on my phone directly to this node at home. And I can also send money from this node at home directly to that app on my phone. But the amazing thing about the Lightning Network is once you've connected to a major node that's also connected to the major Lightning Network, because I have a separate connection here to a major node so that I'm connected to the entire network, I can send payments from my home node, which is connected to the major network, or either of the apps on my cell phone because they're connected to my home node, which is connected to the major network. That's why it's called the Lightning Network. When I send payments directly from my cell phone to my home node, it's free because that's a direct connection. You can get direct connections from most major websites, even the ones you want to purchase from, if you want to make fee-free transactions. But if you don't want to have a million connections on your cell phone, just get connected to a major node like mine or someone else's that's connected to the wider network, and you can just route all your payments through them to anywhere on any Lightning Network node in the world for practically nothing. You're going to have to pay a very, very small fee. The last time I sent about $2, it cost me 1/100th of a penny. So it's not even a fee that you're even going to think about, even if you have to route through other node locations. Now, when you open up a node, you're going to see here in the Eclair app that some of them are funder nodes and some of them are not funder nodes. What this means is direction of the connection. This channel here, which was connected with this home node from my cell phone. See, it says funder node. That means I did not fund it from here. Someone funded it themselves to this so that they could be able to send money from them to me up to, say, this 0.001 BTC. So whoever funded this node to me can send me through the Lightning Network up to 1.001 BTC. Once they've sent me that full amount, they can no longer send me any more. When you open channels, it's for a particular amount and the ability to send money in one direction. Now, if I wanted the ability to send money back to that node, if it could handle money going back to it like a full node would, or a partial node that's capable, like that second Android app I told you about, I would need to open up a channel between, excuse me, I am so sorry, between my home node and the Android or the full node itself, and I could get that information from that other node. So since this, of course, is a funder app, they can send money in to me. They can also send money through me to other places on the network, no problem, but only up to the capacity limit of that channel. You could have up to 1 million BTC on that wallet app on the phone, but the amount that you send to open up and hold open with that channel is the maximum amount you can send through that channel. So if you need to send 100 BTC, you need to open up the channel for 100 BTC. Even if you have 5,000 BTC in your wallet, you can only send up to what's in the channel. Now, if you want to receive funds, you also need what's called a return path, which is, in this case, I would have had to open up an open node back to that person that opened up the node to me, so that someone that wanted to send them money could hop through me to them, because I'm their only connection to the network. Now, the person that connected to me could open 5 other connections on their own and not have to go through me and do all of this. So that's what makes it so versatile. You can either be lazy and just have one main connection, or you can have 100 connections and not pay any fees. But you also have to have enough money to fund all those channels. So I just wanted to make that quick explanation. Now we have a full working Bitcoin Core wallet here. Now we're at the next step, which is one of the most important. Let's look at the Eclair setup notes. There's some configuration files that are not easily available online, and I wanted to make available to everyone so they could get their nodes set up as quick as humanly possible. Okay. All right. The first thing we're going to have to do is set up the Bitcoin configuration file that can be found by clicking on settings here. Don't forget to encrypt your wallet, which is basically just set up a password for it, because you do want to protect your funds on every one of your nodes that you set up on each computer or on your phones if you can. Now here, once you go to options, you go to open configuration file, press OK. As you can see, I already have this information here. If you were just setting up one, you wouldn't have this information. You want to copy and paste from what I posted, what I will post in this video, or you can retype it if I forget to post it here, from this area into here, and then just press file save, and you are good to go. And you press save. I do want to start this on every startup. You might want to click this so that every time that you start up this machine, even though you shouldn't shut it down if you're going to use it as a Lightning Network node, it should be on 24/7 so you can receive and send payments at all times. And press OK. Now that we have the node going and the proper configuration files for it, we're going to go to the location. As here, if you ever need to see the location, it's C users, whatever your computer name is, app data roaming Bitcoin, if you want to go directly to that configuration file. Now for the Eclair wallet, we're going to have to go directly to that file location. I'm going to do it the old fashioned way and just navigate there for practice. Going to go to the computer, go to users, name of the computer, then we're going to go to that Eclair folder. Now I had already previously installed Eclair, and I had put this configuration file here, but as you can see, the first thing, you know what, let me just go back and do it all. I'll do it all. Delete that and delete that right now. This is how your Eclair setup starts. So what you want to do is you want to create a new text document. Doesn't matter what you name it. Double click on it so you can add something to it. You add this information here. Now I want you to pay close attention to these settings. You're going to be entering the mainnet chain. If you want to go testnet, you put in testnet, of course. You need to name your node. Do not keep the name of my node. Name your node, whatever you want to name it. I'm just for the sake of this video, I'm calling this random node. You can go to that uget signal website I told you to find out what your IP address is. You need to put that here. You need all of these arguments. These are not on the Eclair GitHub website. It took me a week and a half to find these, and you'll be thanking me. You'll get set up so fast that you already have this. I added this little extra argument so that you could change the color. If you know anything about, using those ASCII colors, you can find what these are and change your node color on the Lightning Network. It's a minor little thing. It's nothing. You don't even need this line of code here. And then you go to File, Save As. We're going to save that file name as eclair.conf. What that will do is automatically save it as a configuration file, and when we go back, you'll see that it's been saved as a configuration file. Just going to delete out that extra text document. Now you're set up as noted right here. You created your comp files, you place it in corresponding folders. Now you may need to open port 9735, both UDP and TCP in Windows Firewall. I showed specifically how to do it here manually. I'm not even sure if I did it properly when I first did it, because I had to go back and do it over and over again with simple port forwarding and port forward. But for demonstration's sake, I left these instructions here if you want to do it manually. So let's open up Eclair and cross our fingers and hope that there's no port blockage or anything like that keeping Eclair from just operating. Because we do have, I didn't show that, we do have Bitcoin node running. And remember, again, without this running and it communicating directly with those configuration files, Eclair will not start. And the first time Eclair starts up, it's going to set you up with a node ID and also a node address. Yes, so we are connected. We are good to go on first try. No need to open up any new windows or anything like that. This is a full operating Eclair Lightning Network node. As you can see, I gave it this name, random node. Now all I want to do here is show you how to fund a channel. Okay, the first thing I want to show you is how to identify your own node. Now your node is always going to be this node ID plus your IP address and your port. It's called your node URI. Okay, so I'm going to copy this node's URI, and whenever you want anyone to connect to your node so you can have as many channels open to you and have that money routing to you, because those fees, you get to receive those for routing other people's payments. So it's going to be a good thing for you to give out your node URI so you could have other channels open up to you and you can expand the network. That's the whole point, is to create all these jump points so other people that come onto the network can be able to maneuver around it using your access and using the network as it's supposed to be. I'm going to copy the node URI here so we can paste this into a text document that I'm just going to randomly put on the desktop so we can see what they look like. You can get an idea of what a node URI is. Open up this text document. Now, as you can see, it's this same long, what's called a, what is it called again? Your public key. Your public key, and then your IP address, which would have been an actual IP address. and then the node 9735, which is your port. I'm sorry, port 9735. This is the IP address you give out on your business website when you want people to connect up to your node so they can make direct payments to you fee-free and have capacity to send you money directly. Now, when you want to, now in this state right here, let's just assume that this wallet had some money in it. Let's assume it had 1 Bitcoin in it. It's a lot of cash right now. So, and you wanted to make a Lightning payment to someone. Well, you say, well, how do I do that? How do I make a Lightning payment? Well, the first thing is you have to open up a channel to the network. And the type of channel that you want to open up is to a full node which has a good connection to the network. There are plenty of sites that you can go to find out addresses of good full nodes to connect to, so that you only have to make one connection and make it like a large amount connection, like you have $100 worth of Bitcoin, so you can send that anywhere over the internet. One place that I definitely suggest that I've used lately is this site here that I personally use. They're called Tady J Shlushovo, and they have like $50,000 of capacity in their node, so you will be able to open up channels to them. And they have like over 500 connections. And right now, as you can see, there are only like 1,473 nodes out there. So they're connected to 1/3 of the Lightning Network's nodes in the world. So you'll be able to make payments to anybody, anywhere. So open the channel to that node in the amount that you feel comfortable with. And to open the channel, you go to Channels, Open Channel. And just like I said before, you need your target node URI. Remember, you're opening an outgoing channel to that node. So say, for instance, you open this channel for half a Bitcoin. That means you'll be able to send out half a Bitcoin. Once you've sent out some of that Bitcoin, you can receive some of that Bitcoin in, unless you have a return channel, someone else having opened up a channel to you that has some capacity that can come back to you. You see how that's starting to make a lot more sense now. So we're going to open up to our target node. Remember the node URI. Now I copied and pasted my own node URI. You don't do this. You don't open up a channel to yourself. But this is just an example of putting that node URI in. Capacity is the amount. And we're going to put in half of a Bitcoin. Oh, well, they limit the amount right now, since it's very early, to 0.16. Let's just say 0.1 Bitcoin per channel. And then the fee right here is the amount of money you want to pay per Satoshis to try to get your transaction, or this funding transaction, which actually goes to the miners. So the miners are still involved in Lightning because they have to process your channel opening and channel closing transactions. And don't worry about push amount, that's advanced. I normally leave the fee rate closed because they know what they're doing. And then you press connect. When you press connect, that's when you're going to see, like here, you're going to see one of these open with this long address funding transaction, but it won't say close or first close. The state is going to say waiting for funding confirmed. And that means it's been added to the blockchain, and you just need to wait 10 to 20 minutes for this state to reach normal. Once it reaches normal, your funded channel, which is open for you to send money out to the network, and that half a Bitcoin I just showed you, is available. And all you need at this point is for people to send you Lightning Network requests. So let me show you the Bitcoin Lightning Wallet app. Told you I wanted to knock all of this out right now. Actually, my screen is displaying something that's private. So let me get back to my main screen here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at my cell phone here. Now, this is the Bitcoin Lightning Wallet. Let me show you where it's located. On the Play Store. Make sure you're getting the right one. Bitcoin. Jeez. Dude. Oh, can't access it. It's a free account. Okay. I'll show you what it looks like on the browser. Come on. You can do it. This is the Bitcoin Lightning wallet that I use, as you can see. It's fairly highly rated, and it's the only Bitcoin Lightning wallet that allows you to send and receive funds. When you go to install, it's going to install it right on your phone. And this is exactly what's going to happen. It's going to take like 20 seconds. And then this app is going to show up just like this. And that's it. Watch this. This is how hard it is for you to open up and set up a new Bitcoin Lightning wallet on your phone. Press new wallet and you're done. That's it. Now, one thing to be noted about cell phone based Lightning wallets. As you can see, this wallet has two areas. One to show you how much you have on this wallet in pure Bitcoin, and one to show how much you have in open channels. This is key. You can make normal Bitcoin transactions where you get someone's address and send them some Bitcoin, and you have to pay a little bit in fees, and it may take 10 minutes to 60 minutes before it's fully confirmed. Or you can open up a Lightning channel for those of you at this point, advanced enough to this point, to send instantaneous fee-free transactions to friends, family, businesses, and anyone else in the world. But one thing I would highly suggest is that when you start up this new wallet, that you save the opening mnemonic phrase. I'm gonna show the mnemonic phrase here because I'm never going to use this wallet. This is a MAINNET wallet, but I'm never going to use it because, of course, I'm using it in this video. Now, what I normally do is I just screenshot and I save it to my long-term storage, because this group of letters, of words, is what you're going to need to recover a lost wallet. The mnemonic phrase is important. Read about it and save it now. If you send money to this Bitcoin wallet and you have money in these channels open and you lose access to this phone or you uninstall this wallet, you're going to need that phrase to recover all this wallet. You just need to reinstall this and input, instead of putting new wallet, you open existing wallet, and they're going to ask you for that mnemonic phrase, and then it's going to just show all your funds, all your open channels as it was before. But that is your only security in the Bitcoin world, is those phrases. I cannot stress enough how important they are. You are going to be operating as your own bank. These mnemonic phrases, if you're going to be putting a lot of money on Bitcoin, you might want to get a safe deposit box, get this phrase printed out, embossed, and put in a metal case inside of a safe deposit box. Like, it's that serious. Secure your money. You are now the custodians of your own value. Okay. I'm going to go to a previously created wallet that I had before. So I'm going to get rid of this new wallet. Oh wait, okay, sorry, just had a brain fart. All right, give me just a second while I clear this wallet out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. All right, here we go. All right, now I'm going to restore, instead of going new wallet, since I have that 14-word passphrase, I'm going to take the time to restore this wallet. And I will be right back because I need to see it on this screen and I don't want to show my personal information. So give me a minute. I'll be right back in a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to... basically what I did was I just put back in my mnemonic phrase to get my wallet back. Okay, let's go into my wallet. Now it's got to sync my information, meaning download its mini version of the blockchain. And what's of interest here is the fact that I have a channel open between my cell phone's wallet and, just for demonstration purposes, what's that? All right, let's take a look at these three things. So of course, this is my cell phone. We have the Eclair app working in tandem with the Bitcoin Core Wallet app. What I've already done is I've gone onto my phone and I've gone here and I went to open new channel, and it's going to say you need to pay some storage tokens. This is the way that you receive. You just press OK. You're going to have to pay 6 cents for those for your next 50 savings. Now it's going to suggest a bunch of different channels for you to connect to. It's going to show you how many connections that it has. Keep in mind that even though you may establish connections to some of these places, this is the one I use because it has a lot of connections. That if their node goes down, you won't be able to route payments through them, so you may get failed payments. So it might be good to have a few strong connections just in case some nodes are down during certain times of the day. But what I do when I open a new channel is I just do a search here, and then I can paste in, I can paste in the node URI that I want to paste. Remember, I copied my node URI here. Now, I don't have to connect this phone directly to my own node. I can find a node on the internet to a website I want to use and connect to their node and stay connected even after I make a purchase with them, so that I can have a connection to the wider Lightning Network and make purchases with others. It's up to me how I want to route my money through. But then you open the channel. Once you open the channel, you have the same process. It just looks different than the channels here. It's going to show up in... There we go. This page, the show channel areas. Now, of course, when my phone gets up to sync, shouldn't be too long, you're going to see the existing channel that I have open. Any day now. This normally doesn't take that long. Perhaps I need to disconnect from my phone using this app for a second. Let's try that. Okay, so I just disconnected my View My Phone Screen app, and I want to see if that increased the speed of this sync, because this sync normally doesn't take that long. Looks like it's going to be a little beleaguered. I think I've made all the points about the Lightning Network, ensuring that you have enough channels open outwardly and inwardly so you can have a dual flow of money. Basically, however many channels that you have open up for capacity, and this is something else I didn't point out in the video, is look at this blue bar. This is your capacity bar. So what this capacity bar means is if your capacity is close to full, you might not be able to receive or send things out depending on the direction of the channel. Now this channel here, this is a channel outward that I made directly to that big node. Now what I did was I made a few payments. For example, from this first channel, I opened it up for 0.003 BTC. And I made a few payments, very small payments out to a website that I wanted to test. And what that did was it brought my balance down from a full closed channel, because it was one that I opened with them for my full amount of 0.003 BTC, and whatever I sent out, it's minus that now. And so I have a very small amount of capacity that I can receive funds in from anyone on the Lightning Network into this channel before it can no longer hold anymore, because this is an outward channel. Let me show you how an inward channel works in reverse. Now, this is the channel from my cell phone to this particular node on my main computer. Now, this channel's capacity for my cell phone was 0.001. As you can see here, when it began, the capacity was 0. Like here, this is an incoming funder here. You see how the capacity was the full amount of the capacity, meaning I couldn't receive in any because it was full, because it was my money that I'm holding open to send out. But this is someone else's money that they're holding open so they can send in. So it's 0 BTC on my side, and their capacity is 0.0025. So this capacity's blue bar is completely empty. This is an inward channel. So if somebody wanted to send me some money and only had this channel and this channel open, the most likely place that most of the money would get filled in would be here. They would be able to send me up to the full capacity of this channel, plus what little I have here. If I don't have any capacity available on any of these bars, your receiving funds are going to fail. If you don't have any capacity available outwardly, your sending are going to fail. That's typically the reason for failed payments, is either you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough room to receive, or you will have not routed to the correct number of nodes that will get you the route you need to get to the site that you want to make the payment for. Some nodes don't have good routes. You may have to get a bunch of different good connections. But once you got those 3 or 4 good connections, you should be good to go. Okay, let me take a look back at my phone. It has decided that it doesn't want to play nice. So I'm going to have to demonstrate to you guys a Lightning Network payment from a different app. And I know that can be a bit confusing, but what other choice do I have so I can finish this video? Okay, I'm about to show you the Eclair Lightning Network app on my cell phone. If I can remember the program. That I was just using. A power network. Oh, wrong desktop. Have to reestablish that connection. Okay, now as you can see, I have a couple of Eclair channels open. This particular channel is from this wallet app. As you can see, this is this 0.001 I had previously. I put some money into this wallet. First, I had to deposit some money into Bitcoin from the place that I get my Bitcoin from, which is like Coinbase or Square, or the main places that you hear about. Then you send it from Coinbase or Square after you've purchased it to these wallets so that you can have money in the form of Bitcoin, so you can fund the channels And this shows you the total amount that you have in all channels combined. I have 2 channels open for a total of 0.0012 whatever. So this channel of 0.001 is this channel here on this node. Both points get notes of that channel. You both get to see your balance and capacity. Different things show you in different ways. Like this one shows you capacity. But your balance is actually only reflected here. When I send payments, it actually comes out of these numbers until this reaches 0, because you can't receive in payments, so you're just basically emptying channels. And once the channel gets empty, it just automatically closes itself because you can't receive in money. There's no point in having a capacity set for this one. This is the reason why I didn't want to show this. But let me make a Lightning Network payment and show you how fast it is. Just so you know, Lightning Network payments, give me just a sec. I want to check back at that app again because I would love to be able to show you directly from that app. Nope, 6 days behind. We're getting there. We're getting there. I can do a quick Lightning payment here to myself because it doesn't cost me anything. I can do this a million times, no problems. Now, what you need to know, what makes Lightning so great, and I know I've said this before, is the speed of payments. Earlier this year, after Bitcoin had reached about $20,000 per Bitcoin, I tried to make a Bitcoin transaction. This was before the Lightning Network came along, and we had just had SegWit rolled out a few months before, but nobody was really using it. So all the exchanges were still sending their Bitcoin transactions to the blockchain one at a time. What this basically led to, with this much demand coming through, is I made a Bitcoin transaction, and it literally took 3 days before it was confirmed on the Bitcoin blockchain. And its cost was astronomical. I made like a $300 transaction. It cost me like $20. That was absolutely ridiculous. This is the whole reason why we came up with segregated witness addresses. But ever since then, ever since the price has come down, of course, transactions have been a lot cheaper and a lot faster. What I wanted to make sure was that I and no one else ever experienced that type of inconvenience again from what was supposed to be a transformative technology. Even now, when you make a normal Bitcoin transaction, it takes 10 minutes before it shows up on that other person's phone or desktop app or wherever they're receiving the money to say you have an incoming transaction. That's unacceptable for merchants. It takes 60 minutes or 6 total confirms before it is fully confirmed on the blockchain. And a lot of people think that that's unacceptable, myself included. You know, for a funding transaction, fine, I can wait 20 or 30 minutes. But for a normal everyday transaction is absolutely ridiculous. So Lightning Network payments completely eliminated that. Now, I've established this channel between my cell phone and here, as I've shown before, let's actually make a Lightning Network payment. Okay, now this is going to be a little complicated as I don't have a direct connection between my cell phone and my Lightning app, which is here on my computer. So what I'm going to have to do is go to receive payment. The amount I want to receive, I'm going to make it a very tiny amount, say from 0.1234567 satoshis, which is like an indescribably small amount of Bitcoin. Just going to name this video test so we have a record of it. And this is what the Bitcoin Lightning Network request will look like that you have to generate. People can't just send you money even if they have a channel open. You have to make a request, say the amount, and generate the request. Okay, maybe they couldn't regenerate a request for that small. Let's see. One, let's try this. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I think I know the problem. I have 2 PCs open and they're both running Bitcoin Core nodes and Eclair nodes at the same time. So and they're both running through the same router. That could definitely cause a problem. It looks like this one is hung because I put the request through on another. And the only reason why I'm running into this problem is because this computer that I'm looking at remotely here in this little black screen is also connected to the same router. And they're going through the same point using the same port, which might have caused some issues. So I just had to close down that Eclair, and hopefully we can now generate our requests as it shouldn't have any interference. Perhaps not. Try this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Video test. Okay, yeah. Had to shut down that request. All right, now what you'll see here is the QR code when you generate a payment request. Now, if I was on my cell phone, which I am now, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. I'm on my cell phone, and the person that I'm sending the money to is saying, hey, look, this is a payment request. This is all you have to do. You go here. I want to send that 0.0001 Satoshi, scan a payment request. With this particular app, you can scan a Bitcoin payment request or a Bitcoin Lightning payment request. Lightning payment requests normally start with LN. Bitcoin payment requests start with a number, a normal number, or the letter B for BEC32 or SegWit addresses. So I'm going to go to scan payment request since I'm holding the phone in my hand, and I'm just going to scan QR code. And as you can see, it fills in the request. And as I said before, regular Bitcoin payments take 10 minutes before they confirm on the chain. Let me close this down. And 60 minutes before they're fully confirmed and you have access to the funds. Now I'm going to execute this payment. Let's see how long this takes. Executing the payment, pending, payment sent. 1 second. Literally 1 second. That money is already in this payment channel on this node. I can close this channel down and collect that payment. Now, as a merchant, what you've just made is an instantaneous payment that is just as fast as cash, far faster than Visa or MasterCard, and can replace the SWIFT system overnight. Now, let's take a look at some basic information on that. And just to get a scope of that, Western Union MoneyGram is no longer necessary at this point. Let's take a look at this particular transaction. The amount paid. And what we want to look here is key. The routing fees. I had a direct route between this phone and this home app. It could have been anyone directly routed to me, and they pay 0 fees for an instantaneous transaction to me from anywhere in the world. And I don't think that you're going to beat that in any way. So this is definitely approaching the end of this tutorial unless the other app is open and I can show you. Yes, it is operational. When it says wallet is operational, that means it's up and ready to go. Right. Need to recover my channels because I erased this wallet. So that I could make a new wallet and show it for demonstration purposes here. When I reinstalled this wallet, as you can see, it's trying to recover those channels. It's going to go back and look back through the blockchain. So sometimes, and this is good for you to see, if you have to reinstall this this particular Bitcoin Lightning wallet, and you input the mnemonic phrase properly, and you have had some open channels, and you go back and you say, oh my God, all my channels are missing. You just simply go back here and go to use recovery tool, use channel recovery tool, and it'll automatically start going back through your history and trying to figure out, where all your channels are and everything of that sort. But let's say, for instance, you wanted to use that same payment request here. I'll just show this. Same type of payment request. We're just going to make it anything. Maybe it was the decimal places. I don't know. Payment request cannot be generated. There's no reason why I shouldn't. Okay, that was weird. Just had to close that window out. Now, again, you can make the invoice the same way. And then you go here to where you want to send the money from. If I had my channel open, I would definitely do it again. And you could scan the QR code again, or you could paste this address here if you had the ability to do that. Like if somebody emailed this to you and say, hey, this is the payment request for that money you owe me. You just copy that and then you paste it here on your cell phone, and it'll fill in that information, and then you just press send. And that's how you send Lightning payments. Once you have a channel open to any main node for that amount, for whatever amount that is, you can send it anywhere over the Lightning Network, just with one channel. I suggest people open a few channels so that they have nice, strong connections to a bunch of different nodes. But with this, you are up and running on the Lightning Network. I'm sorry for the length of this video. I just wanted to be thorough. And thanks for tuning in. Please thumbs up and share this video on YouTube so that it'll be shown to other people, and other people can benefit from what they've learned here tonight. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and have fun and enjoy using your new Bitcoin Lightning Network node.